Hi everybody, how you doing? It is going on week 9 for me. High weight was 395 or 394, I should say. Try to make myself a pound higher there. Don't really want to do that. Surgery weight was 320.4. Current weight is 285. Yes, I went down 5 pounds this week, which was a bit of a surprise. But I also tuned things back a little bit this week. I went back to between 700 and 800 calories. Coming to you live from the Extra Cycle in my living room. Yes. Today I thought I would talk to y'all a little bit about how I'm getting my protein in. I know that's been a real struggle for a lot of people. And getting their protein levels where they need to be. I've been averaging between 85 and 100 each day. I put protein first of all. But I've also come up with a few ways to sneak it in that I thought I would share with y'all today. One of the things is I eat tuna fish a lot. The tuna fish is, you don't have to eat a ton of it. You know, you can get by with an ounce or two, but it's still like 17 milligrams of protein or something like that. And so that's a great way to get it in. And if you think, oh, I need more, then just be creative. Think outside the box. I tend to add Parmesan cheese to a lot of things. Parmesan cheese doesn't have a ton of protein in it, but it does have, you know, like 5 grams, I believe it is, in a serving. So if you mix it in with tuna or whatever else you're having, even eggs, it's going to help up that protein value, and it's easy to eat. So that's one of the things I like to do. And then there's actually I picked up a Asiago and Parmesan mixture of grated shakeable cheese, and that is not quite as high, but I love Asiago cheese. So I like to have that and stuff too. So that's one of the things I did. I've also, I bought some of these Quest has this potato chip that has 20 grams of protein in it for a serving. Serving is a full ounce. The chips themselves are, no offense Quest, but I don't like them. They're really blah. Maybe it's because since the surgery I don't crave it as much, because I occasionally will have pop chips. And that kind of fills my need for chips. That's a healthier way, you know, not as much grease and fat and such. But I do like to do, what I have done is take those potato chips and I'll crunch them up and I'll use them like breading. Yeah, that's been kind of cool too. I actually made a tuna melt with the protein chips as the breading. And now I didn't put, you know, a lot of egg in it. You can put egg in it as well to hold it all together. But I put tuna, I put cheese, and I used this crumbled up potato chips. And it made an incredibly high protein. For a 2 ounce, made little patties that are like 2 ounces. They're probably about that big. Yeah, about the size of a 50-cent piece, which is about 2 ounces, and it was like 37 grams of protein in that one little thing. I know, crazy, right? So there are ways you can sneak protein into things. Cottage cheese. You can add cottage cheese to a lot of recipes too. And then of course there's always the protein powders. Check out the different protein powder sites. They have actual recipes on their sites on how you can use it. Aloha has got quite a few. So does Quest, and the different ways you can use their powder. And most of the powders from the research I've done, most of them you can bake with, and it doesn't change their consistency. It might help them break down a little bit, but it's going to break down in your stomach anyway. So, but you know, some of them do have a pretty strong taste, so you have to find ways to work their taste in. So, but a lot of the companies do have actual dessert type recipes. Now you still have to check them. They're not set for bariatric patients, but with some modifications. Some of them definitely could be used as such. Sorry about the click-clack. That is actually my bike. Every so often it does that. Oh, there, I just reset it, so now it's not doing it. But there's a lot of ways you can get that in. If I were you, I'd check out Rock's Kitchen. They have a lot of great recipes. Rock is a bariatric patient, and he does stay away from the bad stuff, so that's a good one to watch. And another one I would suggest is called The Protein Chef. He is a muscle builder, but some of the things that he has on there would definitely work for bariatric patients. He has some great pizzas, and he gives you the amounts, the nutritional amounts for all of it, not just one slice. He gives it to you for the whole thing, and then you decide how you want to cut it up and figure out how much each value would be. So he has a lot of great ideas on how to incorporate protein into your foods too. In fact, I got some ideas for him. He's got a lot of different things you can do with cottage cheese to make it more appealing, so you don't get as sick of it, I should say. But different ways that you can mix things in with it. He uses PB2 and a few different other things, and protein powders as well. But if I remember, I will put the links to their channels in my message with this. And his protein seems to be something that's really tough for people to get in or get enough of. I definitely put protein first. I now wonder if I get enough fruits and vegetables because I do focus on the protein so much. But if I don't have protein every 2 to 3 hours, my stomach starts feeling weird. Sometimes I get lightheaded. So I know that my body is craving it and is using it properly because it's running out. And so that's reminding me, also works as a reminder for me to eat. Because quite honestly, I did not eat enough previously. The bike has a few little issues with it that we're working out here. But some of the other things, my hair, kind of changing the subject a little bit, my hair is getting thinner. You can probably see it a little bit. So I have been being good about taking the biotin, and hopefully that will help address it a little bit. I don't notice it as much, but my hairdresser does. And every so often, yeah, you can see clear down to the scalp. I mean, you can always see at the part, but there's a lot of other spots where I can get to see down to the scalp. That's kind of scaring me a little bit, but it's something we go through, and it's normal with the process. But the good news is my weight is going down again, and that's good. So actually, my total right now, I'm down 109 pounds. And of that 109 pounds, 39 have been since surgery. So now I finally feel like I'm back on track a little bit. But there's been some trials and tribulations this week. I can't really get into it, but let's just say there's been quite a few times where I'm so glad that there is not chips in my house because they'd be gone. And I would probably, quite honestly, be throwing up all over the place. But I know that I can't go to that when I get stressed. I know I can't go to that when I get upset. So, trying to replace it with exercise. Come across different places that give me more ideas about protein. Oh, 7 Bites is another good YouTube channel too, for different ideas for protein and what bariatric patients can eat. They have got some great things on there too. So that would be another good one to check out. I try to do a lot of research on these things because I do get sick of eating the same thing all the time. This morning, I actually ventured out. I've only ate out once since surgery, and this was my second time. And of course, we went to an all-you-can-eat breakfast, which we've ate at before, which we love. But I'm thinking, is it going to be worth it to pay $6 for me to eat, or $8 for me to eat an all-you-can-eat breakfast where I can just have just a little bit? But it turns out I did fine. I had my egg, I actually had some bacon, and I had, what's the other thing I had? Oh, I had some potatoes with onion in it, which I love how they do their onion fried potatoes. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have my modest little portion. This is one of those things that I can do because I'm not denying myself everything. So I got a little bit of each, and it was perfectly fine. I actually got a biscuit as well, but I didn't eat the biscuit. I just didn't have any room. So I have not tried breads, but this was a biscuit that had like the hard coating on the outside, so I was just going to eat like the outside part of it, but I didn't. And I'm fine with not eating it. I didn't really need to. I was full. I was satisfied. I got my potatoes with the onions in it, so I was happy. And I actually felt like I ate more rounded this morning than I usually do, because a lot of times I don't have space left for fruits and vegetables, or if I do, it's just a little tiny bit. So I actually felt like I got more vegetables today with the potatoes and the onions than I have been getting. So I've been using pureed fruit and in the little packets, yeah, because I was having that when I was on pureed foods and I liked it, and it went down easy. Another thing that people don't think about is things going down, how it sits on your stomach. There are certain protein bars that I can swallow a lot easier than others. For example, the Power Crunch bars. Yes, Melanie, your favorite. A little high in fat for me, so I tend to not have them very often. But if my stomach is acting weird, that's the best one for me because it's easier to chew and swallow because of the wafer cookie in it. It's a lot easier on my stomach, whereas like premium protein bars, or Premier protein bars, those are a little tougher on my stomach. I have to chew them a lot longer before I swallow them. And each one is a little different. There are certain ones I like and I do a lot with. I actually was borderline diabetic before I started this, so I had some Glucerna bars here, which actually I am allowed to eat. And those, the little snack ones, they're like 80 calories. Those only have about 3 grams of protein in them, but they're easy to eat. They're a little on the chewier side, but they're not hard like some of protein bars can be. I actually have gone out and I've tried a lot of different protein powders and a lot of different protein bars before surgery to give me an idea. Well, now after surgery, I can't eat half of them. So what works for me and what works for you are going to be two totally different things. But there's so many of them out there, you just got to keep trying them to find the right ones for you and the ones that you can tolerate. Now these I'm going to take some to my support group tomorrow night. I have some Protein 2O that before surgery, loved it. Like, okay, this is great, this is going to work for me. After surgery, I couldn't handle it. And I just felt like it coated my mouth or something. So I'm going to take them to tomorrow night and get them to people because actually, quite honestly, it'll cost me more to send it back for the refund than if I just let other people try it. Because if somebody can use it, that's wonderful. Good, more power to them. But it's a way that they can sample it and decide whether or not they want to try it more. And then I have actually some other protein mixes that I can't handle. That I'm just going to let people have to try. Because the company gave me a credit, but for half of it. But I'm like, you know, I'm not going to use the rest of it, so why not give it out and let people try it? And who knows, they might get more customers out of it from me having people try it, you know, giving some samples. So it's a community, so if somebody can use it, I'm going to let them use it. So I'm going to be taking those tomorrow. That's pretty much it for this week. I hope I've given you a little insight on the protein situation, and hopefully we'll know what works for you real soon. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all later. Love ya. Bye-bye.